he walks into the room just now. Seems to be more distracted than usual, but as he comes into the room, sees everyone there, kind of straightens his posture, say, is he conscious now?
What do you look like? Is there any? Are you carrying any weapons, any special armor?
I would have my shotgun strapped to my waist, or to my back rather, and my flail strapped to my waist. I'm usually wearing the usual arbitrator armor with the hooded cloak on top, and of course, as always, with my iron mask.
Do you have a baton?
I do not. Do I?
Do you have a hammer?
Not. I have a shock maul.
Ah, perfect.
That counts as a hammer.
The archetypical weapon of arbitrator. Do you have a badge?
Yep.
Awesome. James, where are you currently? I'm gonna skip to Duskin.
Okay, as you enter the room, you'll see Duskin sitting on a chair on the far side of the room, observing the patient. He'll be in his usual dark, clothing. Is fully kitted. He'll have the pistols on his hips. And basically it's just sort of sitting there observing the Cloud Boys patients. Just you can't actually get a feeling of what he's doing. Just there. Doesn't acknowledge it as you come into the room. Doesn't acknowledge it as you start moving about the room. Just staring at him intently.
Awesome. James, are you back? Brad? Okay. Then we begin the session. I'll give it over to you, and you can have a role-playing scene, do whatever you want. You are currently, I can set the scene, you're in the sick bay. It is smelly. You are down in sort of a catacomb of the ship. Metal stairs, brushed metal surfaces. There is a room with this dim red lumen that throws this it's kind of relaxing, but at the same time, the longer you spend in there, you get a kind of focus, but it's very much like tunnel vision. Everything seems sort of unreal. There's screening equipment casting this neutral white light on the metallic walls and shelves. There's an unfortunate combination of cooking equipment, stove, medical room, and some chemical gear, and James is behind it all, sort of walking back and forth, making sure you don't touch anything. And you're all standing there around in a circle. Duskin sitting in the far edge of the room. It smells of medicine and cleaning agents.
Yes, so you see Doc wearing white scrubs with the Medicaid symbol embroidered over the left pocket flap. You see him looking over the Cloud Boys leader with a simple clipboard in hand with paper on it, and you see him writing down in fine print along this paper, walking around the bed, checking his instruments, making sure all is well with the patient. That's it.
Awesome.
Doctor, I was still waiting the situation report from the Mechanicus, but he has yet to submit one. Tell me, who is this patient?
He is what we've gathered so far, the known leader of the Cloud Boys in this region of space. Where he's exactly placed in the chain, we do not know, but I feel that he has further contacts and information to divulge to us once he's in a better frame of mind and his body has recovered. Until then, he will remain here in the Medicaid Bay under my administration and my safeguard. And as the word safeguard is said, you hear you see a lumbering form come out from the shadows as you see Guardian 011 draped in the most ominous black cloak you've ever seen, gun his chain axe with a throaty whine. And you see a small red light appear from his eye lens and track across the room, left to right, before deactivating and him returning back to his covered spot in the corner of the Medicaid room.
Inspiration point.
What was the circumstance of his capture?
Doc looks over towards Stefan before looking back to Fyodor. Well, we broke into a hangar, killed a bunch of his men, broke out of the hangar, and killed a bunch more of his men, and now here we are. That's how it normally goes. We break into somewhere, kill a bunch of people, take whoever the leader is, and disappear. You know, normal search and rescue or search and execute, and you know how we like to call it, because normally we don't take prisoners. We should more often, but he looks at Duskin and Stefan. Some people like to be trigger happy.
Simple, effective, good. And who are these Cloud Boys, and how are they involved in your task at hand?
They are currently, well, from the information we've gathered, this man is apparently the man that led to the death of our Inquisitor. What information we've been able to gather from that, not too much. But he really has no purview on our investigation now. This is just in the future, after we've completed this mission.
Very well. Do you think he will be in the condition to answer questions soon?
Doc is going to look over his body, look at his clipboard. He's probably going to need another month and a half to recover, honestly. He's going to need a little bit longer. What most of the group did to him with their own unique brands of torture has really scrambled both his body and his mind. I mean, if you think of it like an egg, just imagine an egg that's picked up, shaken around, crushed, and then thrown onto the ground. How would you fix that?
Oh, you don't.
Exactly.
If he was responsible for Inquisitor Typhus' death, then he deserved no less.
He should be thankful I was held back.
Yes, well...
Doc, how long before it would be conscience? Awake enough to give us answers. I mean, let's face it, we all know how this is going to end.
Yeah, if a month and a half is his full recovery, then I say another 2 weeks before he'd really be up. But let me take a look over him. And can I do a Medicaid roll on him to see if that's actually possible, Morton?
What are you trying to do?
If I can actually wake this guy up, him actually be coherent enough to us actually question.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make a cocktail of drugs. You can do a trade chemist test at -20.
Okay, can you fill me in on what the constraints of this drug are going to do to this man?
No constraints. Just need it to be potent enough without being deadly.
Okay.
Or disturbing his mind.
12.
Oh, wow. Well, there goes the inspiration I just got. 6 degrees of success.
So that would be 4 degrees. This is minus 20.
Oof.
You can all see Brad, James. What kind of gear do you have when you work in the lab, by the way?
Oh, Doc is in full scrub gear right now. He has an all-white shirt on, all-white scrub pants, even has all-white shoes, even the socks he wears when he goes to step up onto the little stools to overlook the patient.
Mhm.
You can see even white socks just at the bottom of his pants line.
Do you keep them clean? Do you wash them?
Yes, spotless. Pristine white.
What does Brad
Just
use? Do you like wash them in like strong
bleach.
bleach? So you're literally like beaming, standing in front of these cocktails, just bubbling tubes here and there, and you're just this luminescent, bright white figure walking over to the room. As you turn around, you hold this brew in one hand and you take a syringe and just sort of extract it. All of you look over at James as he steps over to the table. Every movement is very precise. You want to inject him.
Yes, Doc reaches down, grabs him around the wrist, flips his arm around to where he is forearm up, and begins pushing the needle right into the brachial artery at the bend of the elbow. And he looks at the patient as he does so to see if there's any reaction elicited.
The artery. So this is gonna be quick. It's gonna be 2 seconds or something. A few seconds. You'll suddenly see him like jolt up from the table. His hand moves. The sedatives are immediately countered. And even though he's not speaking, his arms start moving immediately, shaking on the table. Suddenly you see him sort of twisting, contorting over to one side in a fetal position. And eventually you see him sort of grabbing for the other end of the table. Is he restrained?
He actually is. He's fully restrained. He would not be able to roll or do anything.
If he is fully restrained, he will just sort of jolt over to one side. You'll try to get loose from the chains, and you can see veins popping in his arms. And he's just trying to push off of the table.
Sir, you should desist. You might reopen some of your wounds. Would you care to take a look at yourself? And as I say this, I press a button as the bed is inverted to a straight up standing position, and I walk around with a small mirror to show him his mutilated body.
Oh, he's actually failing all his willpower. So he's actually gonna break out and start weeping on the slab.
As Doc sees this, he lowers the mirror and says, "Yes, that is the reaction I was expecting." And he presses another button, and the bed retracts back, going to a horizontal position. And Doc walks over, and is going to try and see if he can give him some kind of sedative to take the edge off to help control his crying.
You do so. He comes down.
Now, if you don't want this to go any of the previous ways it's gone, besides when we had our small conversation, you should probably answer these men's questions with full honesty. It'll be much better for you in the long run. As Doc shoots a look over to Stefan and Duskin.
Well, after that pathetic display, I don't even have the words for it. Stefan, you want to go first?
If I must. I can barely stand to look at him.
Please
Hey.
don't make him cry again, because
Stefan, we're still currently on track to the next station, correct?
No, we're still in House's Maimon station. We cannot talk with them again.
Okay.
sorry, bear with me a second.
Tobias, do you hear me?
Eyes flare open. He nods.
Who supplied you your weapons at the trade combine?
He is not budging. Just sliding back and forth.
Tobias, as I snap
You-
my fingers in front of his face, come back to consciousness, back amongst the living.
And any of you can do an interrogation test.
Oh, yeah.
Preferably just one. Whoever is leading it.
Oh, Doc, feel free.
I'm gonna apply the
Okay,
minuses myself.
and do you have? I have talent where.
Yep, I
It-
also
it's
have
stacked.
Can I assist?
For
Wait,
sure.
no, stop. If everyone in this room has it, it's like what, a +10 for each person?
No. Only one assist.
No. For our
That's general assist, and I will use coordinated interrogation, so it's a +5.
Sounds good.
Well, +15.
perfect.
Bruh.
I'm gonna use a fate point to reroll that.
I see our rolls are as usual.
Fyodor stands
Mhm.
back.
Success
Leaning
with
There
over
we
the
go.
foundation.
counter. You can see Fyodor just folding his hands. Is Volder reacting to this in any way? What is Volder's opinion of what's going on?
He's seen this kind of interrogation 1,000 times, usually without someone so intent on keeping someone alive. He is both very patient in extracting results, but also, unusual to himself, kind of antsy about. He feels like there's we're wasting time somehow. He's not sure why he has this kind of feeling.
Nice. The interrogation is going well, Brad. You're asking the right questions, and eventually you can see him sort of coming back to consciousness. He will slowly slide over, his head leaning over in your direction.
Your arms supplier.
We make them. He starts coughing on the table.
Stefan, can you bring up the schematics from the trade combine?
Regarding,
The layout.
I'll see what I can produce. As Stefan would use his mail MIU to plug into the autoquill and produce using what's equivalent to a typewriter a map of the commercial district and other such districts of the Underhive where he has been.
Do you want me to pull up the map? Or
No, it's for James, it's for his happy.
As the schematic is brought up, I look to Tobias, and where at the trade combine do you build these weapons?
he's gonna slowly lean his head over, and the rest of you can see that his eyes are glazing over. Looking in your direction, he's got bloodshot eyes. He's somewhere in the Twilight Zone.
So Cirrus Magnus.
Keep him alive.
Yeah, I'm gonna attend to him. Try and keep him alive.
He's not dying. He's just barely conscious.
Whereat on Cirrus Magnus do you build these weapons? Does the Forge World itself build them for you? Or do you have some bolt hole solicited underground where you hide like the craven rats you are? And as he says that, Doc sits back in a nice reclining chair, pulls out a cigar from his embroidered Medicaid little flat patch on his chest, grabs a small cigar cutter, cuts off the end, flips it around, puts it in his mouth, and sparks up one end. Takes a deep inhale and puffs it out just slightly close to his face.
As you sit there, he slowly leans back in your direction. Again, he sort of releases. The cult of Zaduk.
Cult of Saduk. Not familiar with them. And do you keep a supply depot here on Blood Mequin, since this seems to be your base of operations?
He will slowly lean, while nodding, looking at the rest of the group.
And where is this location at on Blood Mequin?
As he's slowly nodding, you can see him closing his eyes. Mouth open.
I go to check his pulse to make sure he's still alive and okay.
What do you do, everyone?
I check his pulse. What's his heart rate at?
I'll let you know if anything changes.
Just keep him in.
He whispers, Carnicola. Carnicola cult. Again, looking at you.
Carnicola cult. Blood Mequin. Who do you use as your liaison with the other elements of the Cloud Boys outside of this region?
He's just gonna lay there for a long while, biting his eyes.
I give him a few seconds, waiting to see if he'll snap back out of it, and in lieu of him doing that, I'm going to snap my fingers gently in front of his face to bring him back.
That's enough, James. Just sedate him and keep him stable.
So be it. And Doc pulls out from his waistband another syringe and slowly injects it into Tobias. As he presses the plunger, he sees the kiss of sweet oblivion upon Tobias's face as his eyelids finally close. Mouth slack as his head tilts down, and he breathes very slowly but deeply as he goes into a deep, deep sleep.
Nice. You gain another inspiration point.
Everyone will usher James closer alongside Dustin and Fyodor.
I see Duskin, what do you call it, whenever he actually gives him the injection. Just turn, very stiffly walk out of the room. It is, you can tell by body language that something is wrong.
I believe the information he's giving us is good, but it's going to be a long while till he's recovered enough to really answer our questions.
James, what do you remember of that case on Series Madness?
That Was it Leo Lectigate? What was his name?
Mainly regarding the cult of Zadok.
Ah, yes, the radioactive deposit that we never went to explore. Is that what you refer to?
I'm referring to their gathering. You've commissioned the cruiser to glass from orbit.
Ah, that is right.
Anyway, we do know that the cult of Zadok was supplied mainly with tainted aromatics by House Maimon. They work together very closely. It is to be believed by what this parasite is saying that they are sponsored indirectly by House Emmet Useli. If I said Maimon previously, I wanted to say Emmet Useli. Sorry. Therefore, there is a grand conspiracy afoot.
So you're telling me House Emeduseli and Zaduk work together, and they supplied the Cloud Boys with their weapons and gear.
Which would mean that House, not House, yeah. Which would mean that House Emeduseli has a hand in the Inquisitor's death.
Yes, I agree.
At least indirectly.
Hmm.
Anyway, that's enough of this parasite today. We need him alive. And when we reach the Inquisitorial cruiser, he will prove far more useful.
I'm sure he would, but I can get all the questions and answers we need out of him. I don't trust this to others, Stefan. This is very delicate. And if our tech priest gets his hands on him one more time, that will be the last of him.
James, I'm not interested in him to answer questions anymore. I need him alive to present it to the other members, other acolytes on the cruiser.
Well, you want to use him as a token of power?
Yes,
Establish. Okay, geez, well, that's fine, man, but can you not, like, off him after the fact so I can get my questions answered?
you have until we reach the cruiser.
Is that a month and a half? Are you telling me I got a month and a half time for him to fully recover? Or are you
A,
telling
w-
me
a week and some days. Work your magic, Doc.
you know, it's really hard working under this kind of duress.
You should be used to this by now.
No, I am. It's just quite annoying.
Oh, chin up, Doc. It's just business as usual by this point.
Yes, but it's messy business. We get into messy business because we don't have all the fucking answers. And then we get into something, and then it surprises us, and then some of us die, and maybe I'm tired of us dying. Maybe that's what I'm tired of. Maybe I'm tired of always going in half-baked. Who the fuck eats a half-baked potato, Stefan? Who does that?
Stefan just looks at you.
Fine.
He would point a finger at you, but he feels like it's unnecessary. Besides, we will have a far more fruitful source of information that we should ask. Piotr, have you been to any courts, noble courts?
Only once. And I'll be glad to never be there again. But as I was told by my then Master Arbiter, I can keep my mouth shut in such occasions.
Fear not. Your duty will main consist in being seen but not heard. You will assist the person, Dustin, will, well, ask questions to feel safe in your presence. That
That
will.
is done.
Thank you. James,
Yes.
I know that you dwell with the lessers of the court.
Yes. Yes, I do. I mingle quite well.
Yes, not to denote your promiscuity, but it might be useful for once. Feel free to dress as necessary to, well, ask the lower masses of the court what they, well, what they think of situations, what they think of the rest of the noble houses.
I will be sure to do so. I can dress up as the superior Shurigan that I am. And I'm sure many of the minor lords would love to have my services for a time.
Well, this is what you will do. However, do not expect to spend more than 3 hours there. The more time we spend there, well, I fear the more we will reveal of ourselves. Even though we're in friendly territory, I do not wish rumors to spread about us.
I understand. I could take a look in their Medicaid facilities and see if I find any of the young lords. And if my hunt is fruitful, I'll be able to relay the information that I hope you need.
Thank you. Piotr, I know you are a more practical person. However, can you wear something that is more tasteful? I would give you an example, but I'm certain you have dealt with these kinds of situations before.
Indeed. Or do what I deem efficient when the situation arises.
Yes, add flashy coats or add some paints to your armor, be it necessary, but look as, well, yourself, mainly.
Understood.
With this, as Stefan watched said, the both of you, I will excuse myself and search for Dustin to explain his role in what's to come.
And as you walk out through the door, you'll literally see Duskin dry heaving on the in the passageway. There'll be beads of sweat rolling down. You can see that he is not particularly well. As his hair is matted because and he's fanning himself with his helmeted hat. As he hears you approach, he goes, "Sorry, but unfortunately the psycho indoctrination is still quite strong."
You're suffering from withdrawal.
Oh, the second he said cult, I wanted to burn him in his bed.
I see.
But fine, I've got under control. I just feel a bit queasy. Apologize.
Worry not, Buster. It's important that I know that you are on top of things from now on, however.
I bet 5.
How well are you with gaining information from certain groups?
Not Excuse me. Right, please.
Are you sure you're all right?
Yes, it's just the. As I say, the psycho indoctrination is strong, and it's been not that long since my last session, shall we say. In the grand scheme of things, it's about, what, 8 months now.
You should have Dark Lord at it later. I'll need you to be presentable for the noble court that the Novator is holding. I wish for you to ask them about what they think of the noble houses and what rumors they may have heard. Well, the navigator houses.
Sorry, you want me to do what?
You shall inquire.
As a noble?
No, not necessarily as a noble, as a seneschal or someone of renowned military presence. But it's a very nice way for me to disguise it, that close to a noble as you can. However, I fully expect you to not be quite elegant to make it pass off, so you may present yourself most likely as a general that has earned the favor of House Maimon.
General would be known. Major would probably be less known. Could still be decorated. Overlooked.
I'll let you flesh out the details.
Okay, I shall do what I will do what I can.
I need you on this, Dustin. Fyodor will assist you.
Stay quiet, but I can also be your eyes and ears.
Right. Okay. Yes, we're good. Let's about the business. And what do you call it? If you're looking at Duskin, you can actually see the sort of glaziness of his eyes start to recede.
Stefan will make his way to the berth and proceed to make himself presentable, as well as wear a disguise to be someone else, but not to impersonate anyone.
And Duskin shall go to his room and look for something that he can turn into. See how he can alter firsts to a regiment that actually doesn't exist.
Doc goes over to a cabinet in the Medicaid room. Opening it up, you see a plethora of different white coats and pants with all different kinds of iconography and embroidery on them, and he picks a very ostentatious looking uniform out. And on one of the breast pockets it says Shuriken Supreme and has a golden embroidered Medicaid symbol above it. And Doc smiles as he puts it on. Many a years since I have worn this. And then he goes and waits by the exit with Guardian 011 trudging behind in his dark overcoat.
He's shortly joined by Duskin, who is wearing a navy blue, what do you call it, uniform with gold epaulets. It's got a silk, what do you call it,
Bashed?
silk trimming.
Oh.
A silk trimming is and pearl buttons is and stands beside him and goes, "So, I'm a colonel. What are you, surgeon?"
As
Yeah.
Doc turns to look at you. Well, what do I look like to you, Duskin? As you see Doc wearing a white overcoat with a white shirt underneath, and you see Shuriken Supreme with a golden embroidered Medicae symbol over the left pocket. And you see what
Someone
looks
who
to
should be standing behind me.
Yeah, that's fine. But what do I look like to you? Do you think my cover looks bad? Because it is not. It is not even a cover. This is me being exactly who I am for once. The perfect cover. And Doc cocks his head to the sides, giving off a slight maniacal
Kill
laugh
anyone.
as he grabs his stethoscope and puts it around his neck. As the stethoscope is put in place.
Oh, please don't kill anyone, but
I can never
Yes.
guarantee that. A Shuriken's
No.
honor is upon his patients, and sometimes they live, sometimes they die.
Anyway, Shuriken, please assume your position.
I'm not putting my hands on the wall for you, Duskin.
I'm getting on the character. Come on.
It is just a joke between friends. Obviously, I've pushed the boundaries a little too far for you. As Doc walks around behind
Oh no,
you.
no, Oh no, I totally got it.
As you hear Doc chuckle.
Oh. I had to make an entire uniform. What are these other?
Might want to roll for disguise.
I'll be wearing basically the same uniform as Duskin, minus all the fancy bits. Basically, just be like a edicon to him.
Did the GM die?
What are you doing?
Dustin is gonna disguise himself as a I'll let
I'm
Dustin
disguised as a colonel of the 474 Imperial Guard Regiment out of let's say one.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone want to come up with a name?
No, feel free to make any fire bats.
Or filibuster.
Okay, 474 Firebats. There we go.
And yeah, he's disguising himself to not be the same person he was seen previously. Stefan will do the same. But more of a noble attire, more of a courtier attire. As we prepare, Fyodor will also share the same disguise as Dustin, however, of a lower rank. since
Yep.
he's supposed to be his as well. What's practically his second in command.
Adjutant.
Roll for deceive. Disguise.
Astrin, you roll with a plus 30. Stefan will give you a disguise check.
Okay.
No.
Do we
Uh,
each roll for ourselves?
You're gonna share the same well, pretty much the same uniform except the fancy bits, so you can assist Astrin if you have deceive.
Morton, do I need to still roll a disguise for myself?
If you don't want to present yourself as what you were previously, your connections might be more useful than, if you were yourself. Doc.
Okay.
Ooh, close.
That works.
One additional degree of success.
Very close. Alrighty. You all succeed. You are dressed as guardsmen.
Yes.
And I'm dressed as a unknown noble.
Mhm.
But here,
Sounds good. What do you do?
we shall make our way towards the palace of House Maimon, as we're still on their station.
Alright.
Along the way, Doc will keep an eye out for any nobles that seem of a lower stature that seem to be needing of help.
Noted. You all walk off the ship. As soon as you do, you are approached by a servant with a scepter who has been standing there ever since you boarded. He walks over to you. He's old and pale. He bows deeply as you all walk off the ship. You can see sort of the vents and the wires hanging from the outside of the ship. As you exit, it is old. So Makri is actually outside. He's standing on top of the ship, looking down as you walk on the platform. You try to look as important as possible. I'm gonna roll a test to see if he can. So the servant will sort of begin bowing, and then, confused, you can see his brows coming together. He makes a frown and sort of takes his hand up in the air in a confused gesture. He walks closer to you and asks what you're doing here, who you are. What would you like to tell him?
Have I seen this servant before?
Yes.
He's the old man from Maimon, the voice piece of theirs, right? Or someone else?
This is Ashalwis. Yes.
Stefan will point at his temple and speak, well, with his surface thoughts. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. He will answer yes.
It's me, Stefan. We thought appropriate as to not create too much of a disturbance to your lord's court, to seem as different individuals than we appeared before, as having to call an audience with the same person twice may be, well, a bit counterproductive sometimes.
I understand. You may pass.
Thank you.
He's going to walk up the stairs. You're led up to huge marble stairs towards the palace. You look down on the terraformed dome with the palaces, the mansions, the gardens, and Brad, you try to spot any nobles of interest.
Mm-hmm.
You see a few down there in the city. And as you pass these corridors, there are sort of these lounge areas where you can see some of the nobles sitting there waiting, annoyed, wanting to go down to their mansions. You will walk out on the balcony with Ashalvis towards the stairs leading down to the gardens. As you walk to the symposium, you can do a knowledge test for so you're just looking for any lower nobles, nothing special. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, while we're going along this, I would like to tell our navigator that once we've made it to our destination, if he could escort me to the Medicaid facilities on this level.
You can actually do an inquiry test at -10.
But they start. Oh no, you don't got this.
You try to stop one on the street. As soon as he spots you, he's sort of annoyed, puts his chin up in the air. He's obese, purple eyebrows, wild hair. He's being carried by several of his servants. As soon as he spots you, he throws his scarf over his shoulder, annoyed, looking up at the sky. And you can see several of his soldiers. They're dressed in robes, so as to look not threatening, but they have weapons. And, they will run up and cover the view between him and you.
My lord, would you like some help with your weight loss? I
Get away
have
from me.
just...
He will
I have-
wave his hand up in the air and immediately pass.
I am a Medicaid Supreme. Anyone would love to have me for my valuable intelligence and useful skills. Even a minor lord like yourself.
He becomes worried, scurries off.
Fine. Have your men suffer under your unbearing weight.
Honestly, it looks so much more than the accent for the noble. Can you keep on using it?
I find it quite offensive.
What do you do?
We'll leave Dodge with the lower nobles to see if he can produce any information. We're not aware if he succeeds or not yet. Going towards the more decorated area, I will leave Dustin and Fyodor to obtain information from the higher class noblemen.
So you're stopping in this plaza and looking around.
While I personally make my way towards the Novator's Palatio.
And before Stefan actually leaves, Duskin's going to say, "What you actually looking for?" And you can see the perspiration running down his face.
Oh, several things regarding the other navigator houses, regarding Maimon, regarding some of the rogue traders that appeared in our briefings. You'll obtain something, I'm certain of this, Dustin.
James and the rest who are standing there. In the symposium, you're in this middle of this giant plaza. You can see a gathering of nobles in the middle, a few traders surrounding them, all dressed in exquisite garments. The artificial sky above starts to turn more and more real in your mind. The gardens look like a pleasure world. There's a slight dry smell of oils as some of the servants swiftly walk past you. They're wearing brightly colored tunics, some of them sandals, carrying furniture, urns, things made to look like they're at a beach or something. Trays, all of them smiling spaces. As soon as they spot you, you can see that the smiles sort of fade a little bit, and they get a little, what the hell are these people doing here? You can also see a few exotic animals in the distance. Some of the nobles there are famous. You recognize them. You also spot a rogue trader.
Which rogue trader?
You can roll for knowledge rogue traders. I believe it's common knowledge. Yes, common knowledge rogue traders, -20.
Man, Doc, come on, what's with these rolls? I mean, I know it's us, but come on.
Inspiration.
The sun is just scorching in your face, and you think you recognize him. You squint, and you just... No. You look
Success
crazy. You're just staring right at him, and he just turns around. Puts a hood over his head.
Do I recognize him, though? I got success with 3. Used inspiration.
Alright. You walk a little bit closer, and this is the rogue trader Galanus Hapis. As you recognize his red hair. He has this, as it pulls down his hood, pulls back his hood. Maybe you took off your helmet, something to look a little bit less intimidating. He has this recognizable matted red hair. It's messy, and he has these small, beady violet eyes that peer out from beneath this small feathered brown hat. He wears a ritual suit in poor condition and a jacket with a hood over it. It looks like it hasn't been cleaned since a night out. Kind of looks like a little bit of an eccentric artist or something. He has like feathers on his sleeve and these several cut pieces of his clothing for fashion. He seems to gesture wildly and is holding a conversation with another noble.
I would like to eavesdrop on their conversation.
He, you can do an awareness test.
Special use awareness, lip reading.
At -30.
Ooh, just shy.
He is deliberately trying to obfuscate what they're talking about.
Who else is with Doc there?
I assume that you're all standing in there in a circle, enjoying the sun, looking at the palm trees slowly blowing in the wind. In the distance you can see these Romanesque palaces and the huge palace way in the distance. The background looks entirely like you're surrounded by hills and forests.
Do you attract Stefan's attention regarding this?
Yes. Come in, Stefan. As you hear over the vox speed.
Yes.
It seems we have a rogue traitor from our list here. He seems to be talking to one of the other lords. I think you might be necessary to make inroads for this one.
As I see that situation, I try to position myself maybe on a higher hill or on a veranda in a building as Stefan, now without his eye patch, as to not discern his true identity, is a cybernetic eye seems to activate his iris, begins to throw darts as the telescopic zoom focuses on the both of them speaking, trying his best to read their lips.
Did you succeed?
No, I'm gonna roll.
Go for it.
Modifiers? Any modifiers?
Yeah, minus 30.
Oh. 98, that's about expected. I'm gonna reroll again with minus 30 this time. Oh shit, actually
Nice.
succeed.
Very nice.
Wow, that's a low roll. Unusual.
Yes. The rogue trader is standing there eagerly talking. And he is talking about, he's mentioning a couple of names. Doya Solvar and the potent demands. Such a treasure is unimaginable. You would have to, and so on and so forth. And he's sort of gesturing in the air, forgetting to cover his mouth while he does. And you get a small glimpse of it. You can roll Forbidden Lord Heresy, minus 30.
It's gonna be a flat. Success with 5.
Very nice. He's the entire line of it is there is a particular book that is incredibly rare, and as his mouth moves, he says that he has seen the potent demands of divinity through Doya Solvar's window of his manse, and he would give anything for such a treasure. The jealousy is very noticeable. He even points towards Doya's mansion. There are several servants around them, waving these big fans in their hair, trying to keep them cool. They're constantly being served with drinks and grapes, laughing and pointing as they stand there. After a little while, he will turn towards you, James, and just sort of stamp his foot. Is anything wrong?
Yes, you look unwell, my lord rogue trader. Can I be of assistance to you?
Who are you? Why did they let you in here?
I am a Medicae Supreme. My place is everywhere where my ministrations may be put to use.
Well, I feel fine. Thank you.
You
We
sure?
would like some privacy.
You wouldn't want something to take the edge off, my lord?
Not. Back off.
He sighs. I gave you a direct order. He seems
course, my
baffled
rogue
as
trader,
he looks around for someone else. What?
As I give him a
going
deep
on?
bow before turning around and walking away.
As Doc walks away, I still look around with my telescopic eye to see whether he's being shadowed by anyone.
He is definitely not. A few people look in his direction. Ash always standing next to you, sort of just looking up in the air, waving his hand as the guards approach, and they take another turn.
As the doctor walks away and Stefan moves away from the balcony around 100 meters away, he contacts Doc after saying through the microbit what he read through his lips. and given Jim context. Did you get all that, James?
I did. Where is this mansion at? I will be done with that work here shortly.
I inform him. Do you have your gear with you?
I have enough of it to see me through this.
And do it as discreetly as possible. Take no unnecessary risks. I would hate to have our relationship with a Novator disturbed.
I understand. And after being relayed that information, can I get a ping on where this location is? And would I know where the Medicaid facility is?
There is none here. There is a station in the atrium for emergency help, but that is just a small little room.
Could I assume that most of these mansions come equipped with a Medicaid facility for the nobles?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm going to begin approaching that mansion, and would I know from hearing that name anyone that's affiliated with that man? Or what they would look like?
No, not from the name alone.
Then I'm going to cautiously walk in that direction, and as I do, I want to look for any walls or hiding spots to purview this area.
Alright, you want to move out of the group? Try to look a little stealthy.
Yes, sir.
Do a stealth test minus 50.
Oh no. Dark's throwing in. Let's go, Dark. I believe in you. This is your speciality.
This is a flat roll for me, Martin.
At minus 50?
Yes.
Count your bonuses. What are they?
Yes, 50.
Million and Strammer is 50.
Yes.
Give me a little line of drummer.
Yes.
Do you want to activate the drummer?
Yes.
What's the
20
range of it?
minutes. 5 meters.
5 meters. Okay. You're gonna work hard to try to avoid the people on the way. As soon as someone notices that their voice is not carrying, they're gonna be alerted. Do a deceive test minus 10 to try to sneak your way away from Ashalwis.
Could I intervene and provide us basically smart steering for him? Social smart steering.
I'm gonna give you an assist.
That's a success.
That's barely a success.
Success. Yeah.
So you all see James slowly blending into the crowd, turning on his stammer. Chameleon cloak. He turns translucent. And I'm gonna say that you disappear into the row of hedges. And you are now literally moving like a Zelda game through the fucking hedge. Occasionally you might see a hedge sort of move a little bit, some few leaves sort of falling down, as James's huge body lumbers through these hedges. James, you can do a navigate surface test.
One of the dots. What was that? Must have been the wind. Dominate where in space there is no wind.
Nah. Definitely, you get lost in the bushes. Do you want to roll?
I'm going to continue to try to make my way towards the destination as I know where it's at.
Do you want to reroll?
Yes.
Okay. You all look in the direction where James is moving. He moves into a bush, and after a little while, you see him popping up right behind the same bush. A little while longer, he's further into the field. You're only seeing him because you're looking in that direction, occasionally glancing over. Several minutes pass, and he is just completely lost. There's no way to see over them. And you spot a group of people walking in front of you. Turn around, go back, again and again. You're completely lost. Eventually,
Fun.
you're gonna pop out of the bushes in the same spot.
Can I get directions again? I seem to lost my way.
From me?
Yes.
I thought you were deploying some advanced stealth tactics, James.
They haven't found me, but I have yet to find the location.
Can I roll for him? The navigate? I did.
As always, will look around and approach you, Stefan, asking where James is.
Never seen that man before.
He's asking for the figure that he just saw, that is now gone.
I point him in quite the opposite direction. I recall someone similar like that. Possibly there.
He saw him coming with you. He knows you're together.
He knows. In that case. And why would that be an issue, my good sir?
He just wants to keep track of all of you. What
Ashau. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I tell him, yeah, he's there. As he looks, James pops from a bush, goes back down, jumps from another.
Do you point him towards James, sneaking around in the bushes?
Yeah, I just tell him he just does that. He's harmless, but, you know. Feral worlders, am I right?
Yeah, Ashal is going to look in that direction. One brow raised, turns back to you.
I would like all of you to keep gathered now for the rest of this journey. I want to see all of you here.
He looks quite angry now.
I
want you to roll fellowship. -30.
Straight fellowship? Or charm?
You can choose charm.
Any bonuses from navigator houses? Beer?
Definitely. You get a +10.
Yeah. Yeah, typical roll. I'm gonna use my inspiration for that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, could I roll deceive instead?
No.
Yeah. Wow, by 1 point. Fuck you, dice.
He's going to seem quite grumpy and just make it clear that he wants to see all of you from now on. At all time.
What was that?
What do you do, guys?
Stand alongside Dustin as he tries to gather some information from higher nobles.
Well, I kind of thought we'd split off at this stage.
Actually, could he have gathered some information before I would recall Dustin? And James would have, went on his excursion?
For sure. What do you want to do?
Well, I believe we actually had split off, whenever we came out of the ship. And we'd gone towards the main hall.
Now we need Ashalways to allow us to enter here.
Okay, so we're stuck. Okay, fine.
What do you guys do in character? What do you do?
Doc is walking around this bush trying to figure out where is the right direction. Keeps popping up back there. Oh, my stomach's gonna run out of time. Oh gosh, what do I do?
Yes.
Stefan's not answering. Oh,
James, it's over as you hear over the microbit. Come by my side.
No, I must get the book.
I'm sorry, James, but this is not a request.
Do you want me
Skillen's going to walk over and just slap him on the side of the head and say, "Get up, making a fool of yourself."
James is on all fours, moving back and forth between the bush, occasionally kneeling down, getting into the bush again, and has the perception that he's invisible. However, as always, is just standing there, looking at you, going up and down from the bush.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find the place one more time. Is that a possibility? Can that be done?
Sure, you can do whatever you want.
Okay. Success.
All right.
Success.
Do you want to move towards the mansion again?
Yes.
All right.
Do you need me to make another stealth?
I shall whiz will, with a brisk pace, walk towards one of the statuaries. He's walking towards the bush as James disappears into it. Very quickly, he will make a few noises into a microbead, and you move closer and closer towards the mansion. James, as you approach about halfway there, you are inside one of the bushes. Right next to the mansion, you see a pool. The beautiful Romanesque architecture appears before you. There are statues, engravings along the walls. Several servants tend to animals, and the occasional red-robed technician can be seen working on these hydroponic systems and lumen outside the mansion. Kind of looks like this ideal American suburb, luxury villa. Balconies resting on pillars, open windows with white curtains swaying in the well-ventilated air. The house is beautiful, but cold and kind of distant. As you look down on one of the windows, you look behind you and sort of in slow motion, you see a small squad of 4 men, armed and with padded armor, shoulder pads, look like full armor, running towards you. The sun, artificial sun, sort of shimmering in their armor, reflecting back at you, and you're just taken aback by the sight that you see in a brief second. All of them run towards the bush, pointing guns at it, and you can hear Askellon at the other end of the bush. If you can hear any sounds at all, if not, there's just silence. What do you do?
So, just quickly, they know exactly where I'm at. They have guns pointed where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
So I went from a bush here to a bush here, and they followed me.
What do you do?
I just come out. I mean, the gig's up. I come out, hands up. You found me. It was an excellent game of hide and go seek.
Askellon will, in a strange tongue, make some gurgling noises. And you can do a willpower test. There are a few servants will run away from the square, and you see several of them dropping their urns. The urns smash against the cobblestone tiles on the ground. They run away, plates, everything falling to the ground, dropping everything, like literally jumping behind houses as these guards surround you. Askellon moving slowly towards you.
Yeah, is this psychic power or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Success, 1 degree.
Excellent. He will slowly move towards you, the guards pointing for you to exit the bushes.
Yeah, I've already left the bushes. I put my hands up, walked out.
One of them
It was
is
a
going
good
to kick your back. In the mansion, looking over your shoulder, you can see a man dressed in just a white, almost like if you've seen those old movies of like the pirate movies of this fluffy white pants, bare upper body. He's hairy, obese, bald head. He looks down at you and you can see him sort of pointing and tilting his head slightly to the side and just pointing back and forth between you and the guards. The guards will very quickly try to put manacles on you.
Yeah, I'm gonna let them put the manacles on me.
Alright. One of them is gonna kick you in the back, so you land on your stomach.
I go along with it. Willingly.
You just hear this thud as you land face first and feel the cold stone ground against your face. Do you want to say anything or do anything? Or do you just play along?
I'd just play along and just say, a Medicae Supreme normally isn't treated like this, but I guess things are different here.
Nice. The guards are going to manacle you. And everyone else, as you look in that direction to pass the atrium, you can see James being carried by two of the guards, one in each hand. They're like jogging almost away from the square. And several of the servants are already like picking up brushes, making noises, picking up huge fans, trying to cover the sight as the guards literally drag James away. Askellon will turn around, his robe sort of demonstrably waving behind him. He has a deathly expression on his face.
Yeah. Yeah, once we break from without the square and it's just me and the guards alone and no one else, I want to try to sleight of hand my manacles.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually an acrobatic.
Oh, even better.
I'm gonna make it both. Do first a -10 sleight of hand.
And while this is happening, you'll see Duskin hand moving towards his pistols.
Stefan will
Just
Fate
resting on top of them.
Fate points. Yeah.
Success, 1 degree.
Excellent. You manage to pull loose a little pick that you have in your sleeve, conveniently, and you start to work on the manacles. Yes, acrobatics is for getting loose from ties, but I'm gonna say these require a security test at -20.
the fuck? These are mag jewels, the heavy duty ones.
Security is locks.
This is what you put on Space Marines, by the way.
Failure with -4.
No reroll.
Did I get another inspiration? Because I don't remember getting one. I don't think I have
I think you've
one.
gotten 2 this session.
I've used
That's
2 already, so
what I can
I don't.
remember. Alrighty.
If you want to give me a reroll, I'll take it.
I think
Oh.
those 2 inspirations are plenty, and they are going to drag you out of this entire place. A door will open literally in this green wall, painted green wall, and you see someone standing there looking diagonally straight away, not looking at you at all, like this was all prepared, and they're just going to drag you into a pitch black room.
Do they deposit me?
By
and
the
leave
way,
me in there?
everyone else, if you want to intervene, you should do it at any time.
I didn't want to break your flow, so I would
Feel free.
ask ways. I expect that, of course, I do apologize first and for my colleagues' behavior.
Anyone?
I expect him return
Anyone seen
in
him?
one piece after you presumably what you consider to be a just punishment.
Askellon has both a bionic around his throat modifying his voice if he wishes to speak normally. He is extremely old, leaning on his cane, undergone numerous rejuvenate treatments to stay alive. His artificial voice will boom out from under his robe.
Why did you disobey me?
I did not, as well as the two others from my retinue. It's just that that one is a bit... James thinks of a delicate word. Mischievous. Too mischievous for his own nature.
Our agreement is with your Inquisitor, not with you. If you break our laws, we will deal with you as any common criminal.
Indeed. However, we did also come to your assistance. I do not expect you to treat us any better than you would treat any other person, but you could perhaps understand, be more forgiving of a person that helped you. It is not that I wish to assert any heavy hand against you, my good sir. I just hope that you understand that
As I explained,
sometimes one's retinue thinks for themselves, even though it's to the detriment of their colleagues.
as I explained when you first arrived, each property is the land belonging to the noble. They are not even our lands. We arrest the trespassers on behalf of them. You trespass on their land. You follow their law, their sentence. I warned you.
Their law and their sentence, correct?
I warned you.
Very well, of course. However, I do wish, for, if possible, for me to meet with the owner of this, as he points to the mansion, fine lodgings, before he would deliver his sentence, if possible.
He leans his head back, gives you a stink eye, and his gold robes with some stuff hanging from it. Sir Kane sort of slowly wheels it over to the side while turning around, pivoting to some of the servants behind him. They will walk up, stand on either side, and he will nod, and with them on either side, he will walk straight up here and immediately stop. The master on the balcony, still leaning on the edge, will just look towards you, squinting. He looks confused. Some of the servants sort of form a wall in front of you. Askellon will yell out that they wish to speak. The master will lean one hand down and make a small gesture with his hand where he sort of makes a movement almost like he's picking up something from the ground. Askellon will bow and step forward. He will then point to you and point to the square in front of the balcony.
You may speak.
I look behind me towards Fyodor and Dustin as I beckon them to come with me.
Mm-hmm.
I was taking lockstep with Dustin.
I would go to look at the nobleman. Is he high up, higher than me?
Oh yeah, he's on the second floor. Absolutely. You can barely make out his pants. You can just see his fat belly leaning over.
Shout at him. Greetings, good lord. I'm afraid I am... excuse my ignorance, but I am not aware of your name.
He looks down, and as he does, his throat folds. He doesn't have a double chin, he has like a row of chins, and his face
Oh,
is so
God.
fat that it's
Back!
It's fat, like
That's
literally
what
like
he says.
a row of chins, big baggy flaps of skin hang over his eyes. You could just see almost like this dog eyes barely popping out from under all the folds of skin. He looks old, and he is a mountain of a man. Severely obese. He can barely stay standing on the balcony, sweat running from his forehead.
What are you doing here? What?
There's
Stefan.
spittle running down his chin.
Stefan, back up.
Do yourself not, Lastrum, with me. Forgive me, my lord. One of my servos has transgressed against you. I wish to ask you for clemency.
What did he do?
How can I use any legal speed to make the fact that he trespassed to be something that could be of lower import?
Great question.
As a lawyer, I question you.
You can do a lore.
Judgment.
Where is that thing? Exactly. Yeah. Judgment at -50.
Would it be fair to assume that the explanation takes at least 5 minutes?
You can absolutely make it that long if you want.
Because I really need all the fucking balls. And because I love James, I will also use a faith point for a +10.
Got it. I will roll the same to see if he can argue against it.
-50 down. Success with 2.
Very nice. You will start saying some things about the holy halls of the Draconis and so on, but he's completely lost. And as he loses you, you go into this advanced terminology back and forth, and the laws of the sector and so on. Do you want to pull on any of your status, or roll as the Inquisition?
Not yet. Later.
He has a pouting mouth. He looks like an upset child. Like you see this big frown forming on his head.
That still doesn't make it acceptable. He broke into my property. He's mine now. He can serve me.
I understand, Lord, and perhaps I am able to buy him back.
He leans back.
There's a hefty price.
One of his eyes open up a little bit more, and he leans forward.
I'm thinking for the best price for him. I'm trying to ask, I'm going to say, well, you see, he's a fine young specimen for a man. However, has a lame foot on his left hand, and his left hand isn't in one piece. As well as, and I go on.
That doesn't bother me when he becomes a servitor.
A big smile forms on his face.
Ah, then, good sir, let us talk about the price of a servitor then, as he seems to have fallen into Stefan's
Not
trap.
interested. It is a point of personal pleasure for me to see him reduced.
Stefan's left eye begins to twitch a little as he detests this kind of creatures, these parasites on the goodwill of the Emperor, yet he still keeps his mask. Certainly, sir, but would you not rather form a greater bond between us? I am to meet with the Novator. Perhaps I may relay some of your wishes to him?
He just turns completely lame, like there's no expression on his face at all. He looks down, looks back at you.
But if you think that you have more clout with the Novator than me, then you are mistaken.
He will pull away from the balcony, tossing out a handkerchief, and he looks completely enraged.
This gentleman is angering me to the fucking nth degree.
Can I break out of the manacles now?
Didn't you fail your security?
They didn't take the manacles off?
You are completely restrained. They sit you down in a chair, dark room, and they will attempt to tie your arms and legs.
Can I slip out of those binds?
GM's warning, you are in a room with a bunch of dudes, soldiers. Are you sure you want to do that?
How
You
many
cannot.
guys? You said it's pitch black, right?
There are about 3.
It's pitch black and there's 3. What type of... When they brought me in, did I get a good look at their gear?
They seem to have las pistols. Nothing big, nothing impressive.
They got photo visors?
Pitch black, as in your eyes are not adjusted. There is light.
But they don't have anything for their eyes that's covering them, anything?
No.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna try to slip my binds. As they
Alrighty.
tie... Well, wait, hold up. So did they take the manacles off of me to start
No,
tying me up?
they're about to shackle you to like iron shackles that are attached to the chair itself.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'm gonna try to slip that.
Alrighty, do an acrobatics test at minus 10. You can easily find the timing to do this.
Success of 1 degree, thank God.
Alrighty. You slip out of the manacles. Just in that moment, you see one of the guards looking down and what? Trying to grab your arm.
Yeah, and how close are these guys to me?
Very close. Very close.
Would you say they're all within 2 meters?
Oh yeah.
Whirlwind attack.
Alrighty. Do a roll to attack.
really?
Yep.
Success with 5. Do you want me to roll for each? You want me to roll for each hit, right?
There are 3 guys. I don't know how you would do it logistically.
I'm just gonna, cause I don't get it. Like it makes me roll like a standard attack, but I don't get any bonus from aiming. So I'm gonna roll like 3 hits. That way it's fair.
So whirlwind attack lets you attack different people and
Up to my weapon skill modifier.
Okay.
A single standard attack, so they might
Yeah.
just roll against your first attack as if they roll attack with the same thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's
I
how it works.
succeeded against all of them.
Alrighty. Then they're going to roll Dodgerino. First fails, second succeeds. Unless there's some kind of penalty to the roll.
I can re-roll failed hits.
Okay.
1 time.
Alrighty. You succeed against the first guy. The other 2 dodge. They attack.
That is fine.
Go ahead and describe it, James. What do you do?
So since they didn't search me, they didn't see that I had a sword belted on the inside of my pants. And as my hand slips free, my hand easily glides down to the pommel of my sword, and as I pull it with one swift motion, I come up with a perfect uppercut slash, taking the first guy's head off. As it comes to a straight across horizontal swipe. Oh. .23 pin 2.
Oh, yeah, yeah, his head goes straight off, and it literally like topbles against the wall and lands in the corner of the room. Big spray of blood, like everywhere. Two of the men start screaming. At this guy, you could just hear, and then immediately you cut his head off. He falls to the ground lifeless.
What are they going to do in response?
That's your
Shoot
turn?
me? I mean, that's all I can do.
We're in a
yeah.
combat, so let me know. when
Ooh,
we're trying to
actually, I'm going to test my acrobatics, and I am going to front flip over the guy to the left of me if I killed the guy that was to the right of me.
Wasn't that a full time?
Nope, it was a half action.
Oh, okay.
Well, the assassin strike allows me, if I get a hit, I can automatically test this to actually do this.
Yeah. Sounds good.
And I succeed. I get 2 movement. Like I get half my movement, and so since they're 2 meters away, I'm just gonna like front flip onto the back behind one of the guys. So it's basically, if the dude's gonna shoot me, he's gonna have to shoot through his partner to hit me. Or shoot around him.
First dude is going to move to the wall, and he gets a shot on you.
I'm going
He
to
pulls
dodge.
out a pistol, looks quite big, under his robe. He's pointing it at you.
Success with 4.
You take a minus 50 to dodge this.
Oh.
And he takes a cold shot to your head. And that's going to be 2 shots.
Well, that's fail.
So you are going to take 14 explosive damage, 4 penetration to the head,
Mm-hmm.
and then 7 explosive damage, 4 penetration. No, sorry, he has tearing. That's going to be 14 again, penetration 4, tearing.
Okay.
Yeah, 14, 4, 14, 4. And the other guy is going to pull up his sword and charge you.
Yep, I'm gonna parry him.
He misses. So he's going to run
I
up to you.
succeed on my parry.
No, you
Sorry.
don't need to. He misses. So he is just going to like try to slash you. His sword goes into the wall. A lumen globe falls off. Everything violently like shakes. The whole room is completely destroyed. This was not made for any kind of combat, and the lamp is now off. The slight low lumen that was there, it is now very dark. It's your turn.
So it's pitch black now.
Almost. There's a slight window.
Okay, I'm gonna move to the gunman and I'm gonna cut him down.
Okay.
Or I guess he's within reach because we're all in a 2-meter cell, right?
Yeah, he gets an attack opportunity on you, and he fails. That's not it. You reach the gunman. What do you
I'm going to hit him.
do? You're in about a 10 by 5 meter room by now. There's a corridor slightly to the left, a metal door at the end.
And I hit. Oh, I have inescapable attack. I'm a dumbass. Those dudes didn't dodge that, Morton. Damn it. It's okay.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Alright, lightning attack. Successful with 4, so I would get 5 hits on him.
Mm-hmm.
Can he dodge 5 hits?
Let's see. No, definitely.
Because he gets a minus 40 as well. Okay. So the first blow comes in, cleaving right into his left leg, followed by a vertical slash going up, hitting him in the chest, followed by another one taking off his left arm at the elbow. It zigs back across his chest again, slashing another furrow through him, and the last one ends with the blade piercing right through the back of his throat as the blood splashes out, hitting the window that's bringing in the only sources of light. And Doc turns towards the final warrior, sword in hand, looking at him.
You get an inspiration point. The room now looks like a slasher film. There's like literally limbs thrown across the room, just blood everywhere. And the last dude is going to attack you. He is going to make the attack unavoidable.
I'm still gonna parry. What's my penalty?
You cannot. It's unavoidable.
He has a faith point, bro.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused.
Killing strike. So, tons.
Killing blow. Yeah, something like that.
These
I have
are,
killing blow.
Yeah, these are badasses. He is going to take a shot at your... That's going to be the body, and... 16 energy, 5 penetration.
Okay, that is a -4 crit to the body.
-4 crit. So this is energy. The energy ripples all over the character, scorching his body with horrid 3rd-degree burns. The target suffers 1d10 levels of fatigue and can only take a half action. So, you can roll for that because I rolled a 10. So it's going to be 7 fatigue.
Nice.
It's your turn, James.
I am going to hit myself with the stem as a half action, and I'm going to attack him. With a swift lightning attack. Holy shit, my boy is fatigued. With a stem counter.
He can dodge 2 attacks with a flat roll.
Yeah, but he's going to take a minus penalty for my hit. For my degrees of success.
Everyone else can hear this commotion from the open window that I left open.
Okay, so that is 3 hits with a -20 on his roll.
Sounds good. Roll for damage.
First blow comes in, cleaving right. Wait, where's the dice? What's a 34? What's the hit location?
34, I think, is the body.
Yeah, so the sword comes in, pierces right into his body. Blood just starts flowing out of the wound as it's yanked out. The second one chops back into the same spot. You can actually see the blade like sticking out halfway through his body. And then the third blow comes in and it cleaves him right in twain. He just falls into 2 separate halves of the room. Blood spewing everywhere.
Nice. I'm picturing like an anime. You're just slashing back and forth. And his body is like being chopped in different directions.
Perfect, that's exactly what I was going for.
Yes. Is that? You're all on the run.
And I quickly pick up my Medicaid bag and I go to heal myself.
Right. You slam the medical bag on the table. There is no pick recorder in the room that you can see. Or at least it's off. Although some of the commotion could have been heard by someone.
How long? So my stummer's been on this whole time. When did it cut off?
I mean, your battery would have gone off out eventually.
Would 20 of minutes? Would me sneaking off, getting caught, getting brought here? Would that all have been in a 20-minute span?
I would say so.
So would it be like just now deactivating at the end of this, or before I got there? It's up to you.
No, fair enough, if it's a 5 meter range, then yeah, it would have all been quiet.
Okay. Okay, let me do my Medicaid roll first before I go with the rest of this. Oh, nice.
You sit down on the table, lay out different syringes, stick them in you, do all kinds of all the quick magic tricks, you know.
I begin just wrapping my torso up, and then as soon as I'm done, I look at the most wholest body. I look at the body that the head's chopped off of, and I just fully strip naked. I put on that man's entire suit of armor, everything he has. I go ahead and begin putting it on. I take his body, I set it into the chair, I tie it down. Well, before tying it down, I dress him as I was, then I tie him down, and I put a bolt pistol in his right hand, and I have one of the men that was chopped up pretty good off to the side, and I position the other one just cut in twain on the other side. And after kind of trying to like set the scene up to look like somehow the prisoner got a hold of a gun and started shooting and blowing holes in the people, I quickly turn around, open the door, and walk out.
All right. You open the door to the outside. As you step out, you're blinded by this sharp light from above. If you look across the grass, Askellon is still standing there. You can see the shimmering of the emeralds and the stones and his huge staff. It sort of turns around as you exit. You can do a stealth test. -60.
Success with 1 degree.
-60.
I get a +20 for my chameleon.
Okay. You barely manage to like hurry behind a bush, leaving the door open, having to run out in a hurry. Askellon will point 2 of his servants to run towards the room. What do the rest of the group do? You're standing here.
We see any thoughts?
The situation is kind of tense. I see a commotion with Ashan Rule. He sends men. The men that got James in there, did they wear the same uniform? Was it Ashan Rule's men?
Yes.
Or was it the nobleman's retinue?
No, Askellon.
That initially dragged James.
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
First, let me roll for real life to not have a mental breakdown.
Anyone in the group, do you want to do anything at all? Otherwise, we go back to James.
You see any of that happening? Or just commotion somewhere else?
I mean, you would have seen at the door, looking back, you would have seen it open. Or be open, suddenly.
Okay. We don't see anyone coming in and out.
Back to you, James. What do you do?
Yeah, after getting to the bush and seeing the commotion and everyone going into the room, is anyone looking like my way, my direction?
Are you back in the room now?
Oh, no, I'm not in that room. I'm in the bush, right?
Do you want to move away?
Yeah, you said I moved out into the bush, like, quickly enough to where he didn't spot me.
Where do you want to go?
Can you pin where I'm at right now?
You're off the map. You're like in this direction.
Do I know enough of the layout of where we came from to be able to get back to the ship?
That depends, we'll see. Where do you want to go?
I'm going to go and... I'm going to stealthily go back the way I came to try and reconvene with the group.
You want to go back to where Ashal is in the group is?
Well, I thought Ashawala was where I was. Because he just saw... Wait, so who was the person with the staff with the jewel and all that
You were
was
seeing.
in front of me?
You were saying.
Then you fucked up as far as possible.
Yeah, as you actually you would have seen Ashal as he was about to turn around and then you fucked up. Win-win.
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna stay kind of hidden and just meander my way as safely as possible back to the group, or to like a little hiding hole that I can get to within this area. But I don't know the area, so I'm just.
Do you want to go back
desperately...
to the group?
Duskin's gonna go on the what we call it, the local vox going. Because there is a situation on blah blah blah, you know, the what we call coordinates. These have varieties here as soon as possible. We'll secure the area.
And you get a double click back. And James will stealthily make his way back to the group, or to the coordinates that were sent to him.
Okay. James, I'm giving you a hint now, but you're covered in blood.
Am I? Is the armor covered in blood, or did the blood jettison like off like the other way as the
Every
body?
part
You
of
ju-
your body
you
from
ju-
head
you
to toe
sliced
to your
people.
hair is covered in blood. Your hair is like running with blood.
James just pulls the chameleon cloak up all around himself and just hides in the little inside of it, and just. Can you guys just come to me, please? As he speaks over the mic, just bring me a disguise, anything to clean my body.
And at that moment, a guard will come running out of the same room, yelling in panic, "He has escaped! The god has escaped!" And he's like pointing in all directions. Two other guards run out. They just look baffled and confused. Ash always turns around. He turns red.
Who's escaped? What happened here?
They will look at you. Ash always will put a hand up. Ash always will slowly walk towards the door. They're just
Follow
talking.
him.
He's talking to you.
Follow him and say what happened?
You follow him, Duskin?
Hmm?
Okay. Standing right behind Ash always. The guards will be pointing into the room. They're all dead, cut to pieces. They're pointing towards the door, the broken manacles, and the manacles still being on the ground from the shackled prisoner, covered in blood.
So Duskin's gonna go down and he's gonna look at the corpses and go, "Emperor's throne. Was it? Who were you actually protecting here, or keeping in custody?"
As always, we'll turn around.
Our cooperation is over.
Of course.
We will hunt your corporate down wherever he goes.
Our corporate?
He will, with a dead expression, just throw the cape over his shoulder and walk away.
At which point, Duskin will look at the bodies, give the sign of the Aquila, say, "May the Emperor speed you. Whatever afterlife you have, be it in combat, be it in peace, be it in oblivion."
small army of men dressed in various civilian clothing, but clearly brandishing weapons, will, like a SWAT team, kneel down between the different bushes, trying to look as kind of stealthy as possible, trying to not scare the nobles. And they will form a search team and go through each bush carefully and move towards the edges, towards the exits.
Yeah, and
We're moving quickly now in real time.
And while that's happening, Doc
go
is
ahead,
making
James.
his way to the local ventilation shaft to crawl around.
Got it. James, do a athletics test to try to climb up. There is a few sort of like ledges you can jump up to this ventilation shaft. Huge fan going around way up in the ceiling.
You just
and
see.
my God.
You just see Doc
James,
look at this.
Pull up. Go.
You see Doc look up at this wall, bare-faced. He looks down at his blood-covered gloves and just starts punching fist-sized holes with his fingertips into the wall. And anyone that's close enough might hear this. And you just see him climbing up, claw fucking punch after claw punch into the wall, leaving small little indents where his fingertips were nestled into it. And you just see blood streaming down this wall as he climbs up into the ventilation shaft. That's it.
Didn't make it all the way, but it was good.
Dude, I was even getting wet. No.
You're in the ventilation shaft now, James. And yeah, roll a d10.
Seven.
So, alrighty. Let us do this. There is a sort of open maintenance room a little bit further in, where the only way further is to swing from a metal pole to another to get to the next open shaft. Do an acrobatics test, flat.
Success.
You swing like Donkey Kong, grabbing one rod, catapulting yourself over to the other end. Everything just drenched in blood as you jump over. Roll another d10.
A 1. Good. Please be good.
A 1?
Yeah.
You can crouch through the rest of the ventilation system, occasionally jumping across an easy ledge. Do an acrobatics test plus 40. Plus 40.
A 1? Nobody had such a good roll in such a long time.
Nah, I'm just noticing how cruel I am. Oh my god.
Success with 5.
Another d10.
5.
You have to climb across a narrow hanging catwalk. You have to move with the speed of a cat and quickly try to move away from the rotating picket cameras. This place is heavily surveillanced. You can do an athletics plus 20 or a strength plus 10.
Success with 10.
D10.
A 10. Holy shit.
Before reaching the outer layer of this fortress, there is this inner complex of security grids. You trigger a trap. You can just hear this, probably some kind of tripwire that you didn't see, go off. Suddenly, this web of red lasso wires appear in front of you, and they start moving back and forth like a grid. You have to jump through. or die. The slab behind you closes. Do a very
Okay.
important acrobatics test, -10.
Oh, that's with a +10 now. Yes.
Why is it
Successful
plus-
5.
Why is it a plus?
Because I get +20 on acrobatics test. I forgot from.
Can't fall. Gives you
Yeah.
+20 to jumping.
Yep.
It's not jumping.
Up. No, still
I knew I
success.
marked on that. You sure? Let me.
Success with 3. James, you see a slight opening between 2 of the grids, and right before they're about to cut you into tiny little pieces, you jolt yourself through them, barely landing, like doing a somersault at the other end. As you land, your feet sort of slide across the surface. You look behind you, and this grid is quickly coming back towards you. You get up and you run towards the edge, covered in sweat and blood. As you break up and open the shaft, you are in the hangar, and you see your ship in front of you.
When I look around, do I see any people?
Just some men in red clothing. That's about it.
Before I fully come out into the open, I fully discard all the armor I'm wearing, and I wrap my chameleon cloak as tightly around me as I can, as I make a run to the ship, as stealthily as possible.
Sounds good. The door will open. What do the rest of the group do?
There's nothing for us here left. We return to our ship.
The guards will follow you on either side. If you try to turn around, they will just say that you're banned from the station, and you are left in the hangar. The guards all looking at you. There is a small army. You count maybe 40, 50 men, fully armed and armored. They're surrounding you. One of them, the captain, stands right in front of the ship. Sumakre will slowly turn around and get down a ladder as you approach. What have you done now?
Your mouth. I do not want to hear it.
I'm gonna go. Rico, make sure those guns are prepped.
He will nod. He will rush back into the ship. 2 of his servitors follow him. And James, you can choose to run to the ship if you want.
Yes.
Right.
I thought I already had, but okay, yeah.
You didn't say.
Oh.
Alright, you're on the ship. The rest of the group is as well. A small squad is gonna board your ship. James, do a stealth test for me, -30.
Sorry, a small squad of him.
Mm-hmm.
Of
soldiers.
of him.
The soldiers.
Success with 1.
The local army. Okay, James. What on the ship? Where do you hide?
I literally go into the book room, onto the bookshelves, and I climb all the way up on top of one and wrap myself into the chameleon cloak, and any skin that would show is facing towards the wall where the bookshelf is, and my back is fully covered in the chameleon cloak. I blend in perfectly, matching this bookshelf, and the wall behind me, all you would see is the trim line of the bookshelf and then the blackness of the wall as I'm just reflecting whatever light comes in and hits that. That's the mirror image that they see.
As you walk on the ship, Jericho leaned against the metal pillar, casually, his hands sort of nonchalantly in the air. He'll just sort of nod as the men leave the ship. You're alone, and he will sit down in the pilot's seat, slowly take off.
Just say, as they actually leave the ship, what he called, Duskin is going to go down the ramp and say, "Here's the leader here."
I immediately shut down Dustin. I tell him to get back into the ship.
and he will look and scan each and every one of their faces and move back onto the ship.
Jericho, with incredulity in his face, look over his shoulder at you, Duskin, as you approach. He'll sort of look for your okay to start the ship.
Give a nod. Say, let's leave.
At that moment, you can hear the thrusters.
Everyone, ready the battle stations and weapons.
The ship will slowly take off and glide out of the station. As you glide out into space, there's just darkness. Lumen finally starts to go on. Some of the servitors walk around and service the ship. Everything sort of goes back to normal. Jericho doesn't say anything, sitting there in silence looking out at the stars as you glide out into space. What do you do? James?
Yeah, Doc comes down from his hiding place, goes to the Medicaid bay after giving himself
You'd see Stefan in the Medicaid bay, facing the door, sitting on a chair as you open it.
As the door slides open, Doc peeks ahead in, chameleon cloak still wrapped around himself, and just tries to gingerly sneak into the room past Stefan's definitely waiting gaze.
You see the incense burner on his hip, smoking, forming a very transparent rayish ball around him, around his silhouette. He toys with the Xenos hand cannon that he received from Rund.
I would like to say this is not my fault, but it is my fault. I would just like to say it was a very messed up situation, and I'll take whatever blame is cast my way.
As if you have a choice.
I do. Death is always a choice.
Your
Death is
incompetence
always a
is
choice.
disgusting.
It's not even my incompetence. I mean, what were they going to do to me, Stefan?
And
Did you
your
even find out?
shamelessness is even worse.
I am not shameless. They tied me up like a fucking rabid dog. I'm a fucking
You are
supreme
displaying your
Medicaid.
shamelessness right now.
I am not.
This
I already
is
said
your
I will take
shamelessness.
blame. Nope, you're wrong. You were wrong, Fidor. I will take my blame and punishment as I'm due, but it was a messed up situation. I didn't know what they were going to do to me. They had me
It
strapped
was
down.
a messed up situation because of you.
I was told to sneak into the house. I did my best. Who was I supposed to know that they fucking saw me? Who even told them I was there?
They were pointing guns at you and followed you until you've breached the mansion. The
I
rounds.
saw them coming, and I tried to flee from them and hide from them, but apparently someone told them.
I have hailed you several times to reveal yourself and join, yet you refused. You remember the part in which I instructed you to take no unnecessary risks?
I didn't think it was a risk. I didn't think they knew I was really there. I thought I was okay.
They
I didn't.
followed right behind you, asking what you were doing. The navigator was right behind you.
And I came out with my hands up and said, okay, I guess our game of hide and go seek is done. And they didn't like that, and they beat me up, and I took the beating, and then they were like, now we're going to take you somewhere. And I was like, okay. And then they put me into a dark room, and that's where I cut the limits. It was a dark room.
What happened.
Yeah, it was messed up,
for
right?
you to explain your stupidity.
Okay. So what was my punishment? Tell me what my punishment was. What were they going to do with me?
They were about to servitorize you.
Okay, and that's where I draw the line. Only I do the servitorization around here, okay? Not them.
Yeah, you do seem quite allergic to charming justice. You also seem quite incapable of trusting your fellow acolytes you've worked with so many months with.
You didn't let me know you were coming. There was no word.
We were there when you got beaten up.
Fuck.
I didn't see you.
Fuck. Do you not honestly think we were coming?
At this point, I just don't know. I didn't know if you guys were going to come. I mean, I got picked up by, like, literally the Navigator's personal retrune. I don't think that ever bodes well for anyone.
Fuck those guys. What are they called? We go after our own.
Yeah, and I don't know.
You know
That's
that.
my fault. That's my bad then. Whatever I can do to make amends, I will. But not with them. Not with those people specifically.
We will continue to
Oh.
find another way through the warp gate and complete our mission after this. As he takes a very deep breaths and adds actually visible quotation marks. Mishap.
Look, I'm really sorry. What can I do? What can I do at this
It's
point,
up
guys?
to you to find out how you can make amends.
Well, that's
Otherwise, your
perfect.
promise is rings
Because I've
hollow.
yeah, that's a good point, Fidor. That's a good point. And I already have our secondary access point to the gate. If you would refer to this journal as he pulls out his little black book. Let me go down here as he begins flipping through the pages. Ah, yes, the rogue trader Gallius Sigric. I believe he is soon to have access to the warp gate. I am sure I can parlay with him, and Stefan, you need to be there. You just need to be there, just in case. Just in case.
Stefan looks at you, gently grabs the book, reviews your notes, throws the book to the side, looks at Fyodor, and tells him, "Tell Jericho to set course towards Brabazum station."
I do a cut nod and just walk off and to call the Jericho as he instructed.
Excellent.
As Fyodor leaves the room, and it's only me, James, and Dustin, I put a hand on James. There's already a plan B set in motion. You should prepare yourself, however.
Oh, yeah, I figured. I'm gonna have to do the heavy lifting. That's fine. That's my punishment.
No. Once we reach the cruiser, the Assassinorum agents will have you. You will most likely be trialed for, well, intervening in inquisitorial duties. That is enough to sanction excommunicatum traitoris. I suggest you start working on your case.
I see.
For all of us.
Possibly.
So it's that bad.
Very.
But yeah, they know it was me. Gosh. What options do I have? What can I really do going forward?
Succeed the mission. Honestly, that's all there is. Success defeats any accusation. Let us all pray it's enough.
Regardless of whether or not we succeed or whether or not we don't succeed, it won't matter. No one ever survives the accusation
It's not like I wanted to kill them. Will that be taken into context?
Stefan doesn't even look at you anymore.
Okay,
Let's
so
focus on the job at hand. Let's all get some rest.
technically I broke the rules of the Inquisition. Is this what this is coming from? Is that what I'm gonna be fighting against?
Is more like you impeded an active investigation in the most gruesome way possible.
I did. That
So, Stefan, what exactly are we being accused of?
Not you, me. It is me.
So we're being
It
accused
will
of
be.
association.
Possibly.
Oh.
Remember, James,
Just as-
innocentia nihil probat. Innocence
It's
means
just-
nothing.
Nice.
Yes,
Brilliant.
indeed. Indeed.
That is true. So, good deeds. That is, they do good deeds from here on out. Be a good inquisitorial lapdog and get results, and I'll be safe. Okay, I understand.
And it's that kind of language that got you into this situation to begin with. Not an inquisitional lapdog.
Well, that's how Stefan prefers me.
No, you're an inquisitional agent.
Yes, I know, but the way you guys employ me, it's not so much as an agent. Sometimes. This time it was kind of as an agent, and I fucked it up, but it happens.
It does happen, yes, and no one is saying it doesn't, but have to be a true believer. Not just in thought, but in deed and word.
In my defense, would it be prudent to let them know what our objective or what I was doing, what I was after that caused all this? Stefan?
He said he'll be right back in the chat.
No.
I mean, did you know what I was after, Duskin? Did you know what Stefan wanted me to steal?
No.
Yeah, apparently it's this book, I guess. I don't know what's going on with this book, but Stefan knows about it as Doc shoots a glance towards Stefan.
Yeah, but the problem is that you're also associated with a inquisitor that associated with aliens.
Yes, for the betterment of the Imperium.
As who?
Possibly. Who's to say?
You know, it. Said he should have been shot. I said it.
Oh, I should have been shot?
Yeah,
No, not you. Called the Eldari.
Probably.
Jericho starts to plot towards Probosum Station. Roll a D100. Or actually, I'm gonna wait until Tavi is back. Don't roll.
Oh no, hell no, I'm
Do
not
not
rolling
roll.
a D100.
Do not roll. I'm gonna wait until Tavi is back. Do not roll. If you want to say anything to each other, you can have a role-playing scene if you like. Do you have anything at all, or do you just want to stare at each other? Angrily.
Well, we need Stefan to come back.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just gonna look at Doc and say,
Was what I did that bad, Duskin? Was it really that bad? I mean, with what you had heard, everything that occurred, everything taken into context, was it that bad?
I can't say yes or no. Don't know. But I will bat for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
As I was saying, as you're flying towards Barbara's home, now that Tav is back, you can all organize. Who rolls the D100?
Oh fuck, not me and definitely not Dustin. Fyodor, it's your time to shine.
To roll about D100?
Go for it. Whew.
Just a straight D100, okay.
This is a big one.
Oh, nice.
Oh my god, thank you. I love you, Fyodor. I will never betray you.
What did I just do?
What to get? What to get? What to get?
38, dude. He got below 90, man. He got below 90. 38, dude. Wow.
Oh man, what do you call Dusk gonna have to blow you now?
The party
Wait.
usually rolls like -6.
I think I figured out a way to fix all this, Stefan. It just requires a cyclonic torpedo.
Hey, we
That's
will
all
go definitely past that. Besides, what I'm about to do will make the things you've done look like a misdemeanor.
Oh, so it's
No,
not even.
no,
so
no,
it's
no,
not
no,
as
no.
bad that I'm in trouble as much as I am.
This is our last card to play, and we're gonna make one enemy but one eternal ally.
Oh. Oh.
You're not gonna do that.
I am. There's no other way.
No, you can't. If I think what I think you're thinking, no.
What are we thinking? My brain's not running right now. I've been in too much trouble today. What are we
See
thinking?
it, you'll see it when it happens.
A cyclonic. Okay, think cyclonic torpedo. What's above that?
That's Exterminatus. That's definitely that. There's nothing above Exterminatus.
Oh, it's the political equivalent of an exterminatus, however.
Oh. I'm not gonna be sacrificed, am I?
No.
Okay.
Your head right now it's equal to 0. I would have killed you if I could have saved the investigation.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good at least. I feel better after you saying that. That makes me feel better. So there was just no saving that situation at all.
No.
So next time going forward, what could I do
I'd
better?
just like to actually point out that I said that I would go into bat for you. Which meant that the shit turned to shit. I would, stand shoulder to shoulder.
Very much appreciated, Tuscan. I would do the same for you, and even for Stefan.
And
maybe
he just
maybe conducting high-level espionage amongst the nobles should be a thing we do when I'm fully kitted out in all my gear.
What more could you have gotten that would have given you extra pluses?
I'll return at some point and say, "Foolish man, it is not your skill that's in question. Your sass, the sheer sass, impudence in the face of authority. That's what ruined all of this."
Okay, but in reality, I understand they're more powerful than us, but we have the authority of the Inquisition. Technically, that should supersede them, but it doesn't because
But they
Our
don't know that.
investigation works on the good graces of those who cooperate.
Yes, and we've done a lot for them. And
which
then they
you've
wanted.
just ruined.
I killed 3 men. 3. It's literally only 3 men out of the hundreds they've had.
3 men
we
are
fucking
nothing.
we throw regiments
Yes.
at planets that we'll never take. We'll never take those planets, but we send them in anyway. We send them anyway, and they die anyway. What about them?
It is your,
Do those lives
it
not
is your
matter?
pride. It is your pride.
to which Duskin
anchored them.
is actually shaking his head at Doc, just going, no.
You have no sense of why we exist. Our lives matter not. We exist. We serve the Imperium. The only
Yes,
reason we're
and
here
what I was
is to
doing.
conduct the investigation. But you seem to think your own lives takes precedence over all that we work for.
I would not say my own life takes precedence over it. It's just what I would be able to accomplish in the long term is worth the sacrifice
Say
of
that
those
or
three
not,
men's lives.
you have expressed that with your actions.
I have you died yet, Fidor? Have you stepped beyond the threshold yet?
I am ready for it.
Yeah, well I have. And I'll tell you something, it ain't fucking fun.
I'm not in this for the fun.
Well, you should be. You should be.
If you're looking for fun, you're in the wrong line of work.
No, I think I'm in the right line of work.
So, how did you get accepted into the group? Is it through the Inquisitor or previous?
Alright, I'm back.
And whenever you're ready, let's get this shit show on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Do you have any new special plans?
Yep, we still have it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Let's see that plan.
Okay.
Not Dexy Bersis, we've already shot in Maimon's bowl. Might as well piss in it too.
I'm excited.
Really not.
I have no idea what's gonna happen.
I blame Morton.
You don't blame Morton for your actions.
I do.
It wasn't even a bad roll.
Actually, no.
It was your
I
actions.
blame you.
I mean, it is my fault. But Morton pushed me.
Fuck you.
What? He gave you so many chances.
Even did a
Anyway.
GM, are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Well, I came out and gave myself up. I went along with it, and I still was going to get bad punishment. So
I thought you were
break
gonna
out.
say, well, I came up and gave it my all. That would really taken the cake.
I didn't want to be that fucking prideful. Then everyone's gonna be like, kill him now.
Oh my god, dude.
Man, if you said that, the sheer audacity, dude.
I honestly would have thought it was really fucking cool. Just own up to it. It's all on purpose. Man.
Who are these people?
Well, first off, you've been flying for a couple of days. 3 or 4 days in the ship. No sign of danger. It's a little bit unusual. When you look out the window in the distance, you can see lights shimmering like a distant fight is going on several locations around the fort, the portal. Something is happening. Some big battles are happening. And at night, sleeping in your chambers, you feel a tingling feeling in your hair. Mahabharat. And you can all do a willpower test.
Is it
Sorry,
Senescence.
do a Senescence test. My bad.
Ah.
Senescence minus 10.
All of us?
whoever can?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can't get Senescence by default.
You can,
Can
no, by default no, but you can get it if you get the Witchfinder.
Ooh, -5.
Yeah, 93, 96, that's true. Should I use that faith point I got? Might as well.
Mm-hmm.
My dude, -10.
Actually, you know what? I'm also gonna break a finger for a +10 to willpower. 2 damage, worth it.
So That's all well and good. If a
No,
guy
it's
that
it.
has a really bad headache, you know.
Monty's in.
Success with one.
Okay. Stefan, at night, you have a dream that you're in the middle of a desert. You walk forever. You get more and more thirsty. Suddenly, you will see a sight up in the sky. A huge battle with thousands of ships. The sky is literally alit. There's like fireworks up at the sky. And you see a huge, almost like a vacuum vortex, sucking this huge storm into a blue orb. Everything turns black, and for a brief moment you hear several different locations. A distant song. As you try to move closer to it, you can see it being sung on the Navigator House stations. You get the idea that it's coming from different directions, several of them. You can do another Sinishans test. -20.
I'm gonna use a faith point for the +10.
Mhm.
And it will be a flat.
Can I assist him? So?
No.
Success with 2, let's go.
Nice. This is some kind of signal. It's a forbidden choir song being sung, of course. But they're using it as a form of a signal. And you get a strong feeling that this is something they're trying to hide from you. You are now connected to their web of choir songs. As they sing out into the warp, you pick up that frequency and their intention. You see the choir singing. You can do a forbidden lore, Psychers, -50.
Does the dream take more than 10 minutes?
Its time is not relevant.
-50.
Mhm.
I can knock it down to -20. Fuck. I'll use another faith point for a +10.
Mhm. Yep.
Hold on. We might have Hannah next session, so.
Success with 5, almost a net 1.
Not.
The Mabarat has an intention to it. You see the choir, young boys mostly. Some of them sing with a very high-pitched voice, leaning back, mouth wide open. Their throats are vibrating, singing this very high-pitched song. You can see it spreading through the warp. It is a signal that someone has found a secret passage. Someone has found a secret passage. And it's being sung by the choirs of the great Navigator houses. 2 of the houses are currently singing it.
Do I recognize their voices?
You can't discern it in your dream. They're just big blobs in the sky. But there are 2 locations.
Any way to... I start looking within the dream for any inkling. From what I know of the warp is shaped by the materium, and materium is able to shape the warp. Do I see anything that would look familiar from real space in this dream.
Not at all. You literally see close-ups of their mouths, their throats vibrating. You go from one voice to the next. Then you follow it like a line, like a silver string through space. That's the only sight you get.
I follow the string to where it leads.
Spreading through the entire subsector. You wake up covered in sweat.
As the dream continues, Stefan sees the string and he tries his best to look from left to right. He only sees darkness. His best the best thing he would to reach out to the string. As he reaches out, his hand begins to boil as his flesh is rendered apart. His arm explodes as these runes start to burn across his arm, reaching his neck, his face, as he screams in terror and wakes up in cold sweat in his bed.
Damn, dude. Awesome, you get an inspiration point. Wish I could give you more. Did you use a fate point?
Yeah,
You regain 1 fate point.
thank you.
Not a permanent burn. But
Yeah.
you regain 1 fate point. Use.
Mhm.
Guys, you approach the station. Do you want to tell the others about it before you arrive?
I tell them of the vision.
Okay.
I also emphasize that it's my own experience. It may not be true, but I feel it to my core to be so, as I have been guided, as I have the impression to be either guided by the tree saint or the emperor himself, and I've been granted this boon.
Awesome.
And you will get no response from Duskin.
Well, at least my sacrifice got us something good.
I cannot describe Stefan's expression as you say that. I just cannot.
What sacrifice?
Okay, we're back on the ship. We're gonna do a little scene on the ship. Hold on. Go ahead, guys.
Hold on. Let's put a little. Okay, role played.
Shit. Go ahead.
What the fuck?
Yes, the sacrifice I made on Maimon station has brought us this vision. Emperor be praised. I am happy for you, Stefan. I hope it helps with the burden I must carry of the 3 souls that I have taken.
How much further you could go if you weren't forced to weigh your sins on your back, James?
Well, that might be so, but I don't know, man. I feel bad about killing them. I mean, if you guys are really coming, then that's really my bad.
Deal with the consequences when they come.
If they come. Hopefully, by that point, you will be of a high enough position to smudge the brownie, so to say.
Unless you find 3 other Inquisitors to vouch for me to become one.
Do they have to be alive when they say they are okay with you becoming one? Or is a voice recording
I
going
turn my eyes to the rest and say, have any of you studied scripture? Do you know what this symbology could mean? As I just ignore what James has said.
If you are speaking of cryptography, yes, I understand the hidden meaning of symbols.
Obviously, 2 of the houses have identified the coordinates. But I am unaware who exactly.
Well, if you were able to get that information for me, I could easily decipher it.
There are voices I've never heard before. And
Here, recite your tale to me, and I can see if I can pick anything out of it.
do you want me to give my impersonation of it, or do you just want me to hand over the information?
It's up to you.
Either or. I mean, if you can impersonate, that'd be fucking legit.
Okay, let me get in the mood. Let's roleplay this bitch. As Stefan takes a wheelchair, pulls it closer, he looks down as he begins to mumble a bit, and his voice rises to an audible level. War. The manifestation of war was above me. Ships being rendered apart, sister ships wailing in agony. Everything was pulled towards this one single point in space. Attracted to it, I stepped closer and closer, my feet not touching the ground. The feeling of movement was there.
Continue.
Watching
As Doc writes down the notes.
Watching from left to right, I could see the sound, not merely hear it, see it, smell it. All of my senses attuned to it. It's true what they say of a sixth sense being there, for even it told me of its existence, of this sound's existence. I've identified 2 points. The voices, they were of navigators, their mutation made manifest through their sheer potent choir. 2 of these origins lit up the path, obviously shining from the words they spoke, unintelligible, yet making sense. It's as if you spoke with someone only to recall them, telling you a tale in a different language that you do not understand. These strands, they led to it. The objective we've had for so many years. Askellon 1. I'm sure of it. Mahabharat. Whatever it is, it's of the Navigator's design. They're using it.
Continue.
And they do not want us to know this.
And to finish this therapy session, how does this make you feel?
Nothing. I feel nothing.
That's not good, but I think I've written down enough of what you've spoken of. Give me a few minutes to decipher this. And then, Morton, is there any penalties to my cryptography?
What are you trying to do?
Decipher this, the message behind all this.
To do what?
I want to decipher this little psychic trance that he went into to pull the meaning from it.
If possible at all.
Yeah.
The meaning is, of the dream that you had. Do you mean the dream that you had, Ty?
Yeah.
Let's see. What do you mean by meaning?
So it's talking about how the ships are being destroyed. It's all being sucked into this one point. There's meaning behind this. There's meaning behind this dream. I want to pull
that part.
what
okay.
this. Yes.
All right. The song is a forbidden song. The navigators are singing, and yes, you can do a. Pretty sure I just want to see. This is the right one. You can do a logic test. -20.
Logic, you say?
Facts and logic are required.
Inspiration. Success of 5.
James, you I've also heard people talk about it. The vision is tied to how dangerous the song is. Whenever navigator houses are willing to take a risk to accomplish something they perceive as great, that risk-taking is much greater than you or most factions in the Imperium would ever dare to embark on. What you saw was the risk that they were taking in seeking this journey, and the choirs were purposely transmitting that they had found the secret passage. The Mabarat is an ancient song about a psyker that went on this journey through the warp and found something forbidden that his masters forbade him to find. But yet it gave him great insight and made him grow. You saw the negative risk that they were taking, and tying this all together logically, you can do a cryptology test minus 40.
Success of 4.
Nice. The navigator houses are cooperating and sending this signal to each other. No one else has the ability to understand or pick it up. They are alerting each other that they have found it, and they are individually finding a road. Each house has to prove that they were worthy of finding the secret passage, and when they do, they sing the song. They are emitting a beacon to each other to let the other houses know that they have found the passage. A beacon that they are worthy.
That was awesome. Is there any other information to dredge from this dream?
No.
Excellent. Don't want to mess up.
Do you relay this information to us?
Oh yes, this is all typed down into the data pad for everyone to look at. In fact, everyone gets a copy of this information. Besides Fidor.
I think Fidor is entitled to this information.
Why not?
Because he hates me, Duskin. Did you not hear him accusing me of saying all the blame is with me? I understand that, but it's like, Talked about pride and all these other emotions, like I care about those things.
I said I was going for a pee.
Oh,
Well, I've heard it,
Not
James.
despise you. You're not worthy of my despise.
oh, so you no longer hate me.
I never hated you.
So what's your problem with me then, man? We're on a mission
Fight,
and kind
fight,
of messed
fight,
up a little bit.
fight.
It's just stating facts, James.
I know, I messed up. It's my fault. I understand this. I would love to make amends and to undo what I've done, but I can't.
And swallow your pride and hand him as data slave.
You see Doc bunch his hand into a fist. As it grips, you see the veins popping out. You even hear the knuckles clench and snap.
At which
a
point,
little
I will hand Fjord my data slate
bit.
and say,
No, I have one for him. Don't you worry, Duskin. And I pass Fidor a data slate. And when do you open up the data slate, Fidor?
Yeah, I'll take it without any reaction.
Well, as you go to open it to look at the first message, in big, bold letters, it says F you.
I will see the message. I believe you've made a mistake here.
Nope. I have not. No mistake was made. The information is down below. The first message was just for you personally, because of your disdain for me.
I should not be surprised of your utter lack of professionalism.
Yeah, that's right. And when you're dying, I'll be sure to save you, because I know you have a death wish.
Yeah, it doesn't react to that.
Small steps, James. Small steps as he reads through the data slate.
yeah, Duskin's going to go across as he opens first message and it says F you. Duskin will have a chuckle to himself, his hand on Fjord's shoulder and say, yeah, it could be worse, that's mild.
Wait, so were you saying that to me? Or to Fyodor?
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's mild, and what he called, he's going to roll up his sleeve and show a scar. Says, that was the first time I fucked up. Just roll it back down.
I am not bothered by the pettiness, as long as it does not jeopardize our mission. It is when he does jeopardize our mission. That's
Okay.
when
The
there's
first time
consequences.
you see me operate and I mess up, it's like, let's give this guy hell. Let's just give him hell. I understand, Fidor. I
If
too
you
love
hell,
to point.
I have done nothing to
I
you.
too like to point the finger at others when they do bad. So I
I
understand.
have
the
pointed
sentiment.
no fingers. There is no blame for you to take. This is not a choice.
There's choices. There's choices, my friend. You just have yet to find them out for yourself.
Well, then you chose wrong.
Maybe I did, and apparently I'm just gonna have to live with it.
Or die for it. Either way, I do not care. We have a mission at hand. There's no more use discussing your past misdeeds.
Okay, well, let us move on from this then. My apologies, Fidor. I
do not need apology from you. So long as you focus on the mission, that is all I require of all of my comrades.
I understand this, but your lack of emotion is very unsettling. I too can be devoid of emotion and talk like a robot. Is this what you're gonna do to us this entire time? We never get to know the true Fidor?
That is your problem. Can we get on with it? Or do we need to talk more about your fragile feelings?
I guess, I don't know. What do you think, Stefan? I mean, he's pretty good. He's pretty good at inciting me. I mean,
he has a fist for, he has a fist
formed into a mite as he has it in close to his mouth, like saying, "Ooh, that was a good burn." I can apply some salve, James, if it will ease it.
Please. Pretty please, with cherry on top and whipped cream.
There, as he pats you on the shoulder.
And with a small sob, Doc finally gets over his misdeed.
For forgiveness, let's hope the assassin also finds into its black heart to forgive you.
We will see. We will see.
Anyway, Fjord, enough. You'll play nice or you won't play at all.
I do not play. Let's continue.
So you're only nice? I'm confused.
Let it die, James.
Okay.
Anyway, everyone
Okay,
return to your
okay.
stations. Let's keep the ship running until we reach port.
Aye, aye, Captain. One last thing. You will have my back in the hearings, right, Stefan?
Do my best, but fuck it. I've done the impossible several times. Might as well do it again.
Doc brings his hands together and gives you a slight bow. Thank you. Thank you. Great.
Don't take it as a guarantee, though.
There's so much coming up in the Brevosum station. That,
Thanks, what do you call it, the fact he didn't actually ask me, but, you know, that's cool.
I'm gonna cut it short there. The session. And we can continue however long you guys want. But I think going to the station, unless there's something you want to do quickly there, will take a little bit too much time.
There's nothing we could do quickly.
No.
Let's face it, we all know what I'm gonna do and it ain't gonna be quick.
That's a good place to round it off. I think everybody gets
Yeah. Snug it off.
300 XP.
Can Doc get 4 since you traumatized him with soritization to where he murdered 3
Oh,
people
fuck off.
in a 2-meter
Fuck
room?
off.
Thankful that you got
Right
XP and you're
off,
not
Jesus.
dead.
He should get 200. In fact, no, 150. Fun dog.
You should
Come on.
lose 200 XP.
That might be fair. That might be fair.
Take your 300 and go to the corner.
Yeah.
So what'd you think, Morton?
I
Right,
take pride
you're
in
seriously
just
asking
running
for it.
sessions the way they turn out. I think as long as exciting events are happening, I'm having fun.
You
That's
were
That's my
having
view.
a
Like,
ball.
I think it's super cool as long as you guys are role playing, engaged, doing exciting scenes, and this session, everyone was on fire. Your role playing was great.
To be fair, honestly, this is the most excitement I had in such a long time.
Yeah, it was super
'Cause
cool.
Why is everyone
The
always
heart is
excited when
beating.
it's
Oh god, he's finally gonna die.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
it's just
Oh,
Is-
Doc's gonna die. He's gonna die. He's gonna die. Oh, fuck off. Fuck off, Morton. He lived. What?
No, it did good. I mean, I'm just playing by the rules. It did actually.
Are
pretty
you
good.
rooting for him to die? What?
you know,
yes, my death is like one of the things that Morton is definitely after. Me doing what I did was a fuck up. I shouldn't have done that.
That's where even I am gonna speak up. If I had
No,
any
no,
desire
no.
for you to die, even the slightest,
You told us.
you would be dead so long ago.
You gave the guy killing blow or killing strike. I couldn't even dodge it or parry it. The man just straight up was like, "Hey, take this power sword in your
Oh,
torso
that
and take
combat
this
was
crit
easy.
4."
They could have one turn kill did that.
Oh yeah, I know.
keep in mind, 1 out of 3 did that.
By the way,
Yeah.
that headshot, 100% heart on my chest. Hand on my chest. I rolled a 1, not 1.
Oh yeah, you're good, man. It was
would have
just
gone
like
a lot worse, but
No,
I toned it down a little bit.
you almost killed me with that first shot, though.
Oh,
Like I looked at it first. You said 14 pin something, and I was like, wait, oh shit. Had to look at my
it was 14 pen 4 times 2.
Had to look at my toughness, and I was like, oh shit, he's getting.
Alright, gonna start.
All I'm gonna
Again,
say
guys.
is,
I feel her.
Sure. Yeah.
Catching.
See you, Fyodor.
What
Fucking
were you gonna
amazing,
say
dude.
last?
Be safe, man.
all I'm gonna say is, could you imagine what he called if Doc got headshotted? That's it. He's dead. End of. Enough said.
That would have sucked. Yeah.
Oh, that
That
would
would've
have been so
sucked for everyone.
anticlimactic.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, yeah, good game, guys. Catch you guys next. Bye.
The damage was exactly where I rolled. I mean, I ran it honestly.
Oh no, the damage was perfect. You literally
Every
did.
part of what happened was honest. Just my dying. That's exactly what happened.
Fucking
No,
need to.
we have no idea that you don't want to kill us.
Yeah, I really I would
I really
never
don't.
ever guess that you didn't want to kill us. It feels like you want to kill us.
That just means I'm an okay GM.
Well, half of
That's
the
how it's
dice,
supposed to feel.
half of the dices that actually no, scratch that. 70% of the dices that result to our death are ours, not Morten's. Ours.
Actually true. Actually true.
That's true.
So yeah, you have to bump up those numbers, Morten. Those are rookie numbers. Can't you see we're doing a better job of killing ourselves? You have to roll against us to survive, you know?
You know what? I prefer to actually have a plasma shot to the face than feel a fucking what do you call a rope grab.
Was that?
Oh no, you feel the rope grab. Oh, you felt it again. Oh, you fall to your death.
Bro,
Shit.
was that a jab at me, Dustin?
No.
Because I got that plasma shot to the face.
I will have to say the escape scene was very tense.